Deborah Smith, principal of Lee County Middle High School.
I'm Chairman Elmer, I teach math at Lee County High School.
And I'm Tony Barrett, I'm an 8th grade ELA teacher.
Last year we met with Mrs. Jennifer Carroll and Mr. Paul Green, and we talked about how we wanted to look at something in our school that would increase student achievement. And what we thought about doing, we looked at some of our documentation, I met with the teachers, and we looked at our data, and we determined that student engagement was one of our greatest needs throughout the school. So that was what we came up with. Our team, we had quite a few on our team that we connected with. Mr. Carroll, myself, Mr. Hurl, the ATC, we worked really well with them. Mr. Barrett, Mr. Miller, Ms. Brandenburg, and Ms. Wilder. Our district focus for some time has been formative assessment, student engagement, questioning, and differentiation. When we looked at that, though, we thought that formative assessment, questioning, and differentiation was all parts that would drive student engagement. So that's why we came up with student engagement being the focus and everything else being an integral part of that. Okay. And student engagement is a product of motivation and active learning. It is a product rather than a sum because it will not occur if either element is missing, by Elizabeth Barkley. When we started, we came up with a theory of action. That was our problem of practice. So we said that Lee County Middle High School does not have a school-wide system in place to implement instructional strategies consistently and effectively to enhance student engagement. And we decided we would develop and publish an instructional playbook consisting of high-yield strategies that were challenging and would support our student achievement across the curriculum. We looked at what resources we had. When we got to thinking about it, we have a lot of resources that we could tap into. We have weekly PLCs that occurs every Tuesday during teacher planning time. We just recently became part of Link last year, which was a grant, a literacy grant. We have been working on backward design units for 3 or 4 years. We have been with it. We were one of the pilot schools for LDC and MDC. We are lucky enough to have an instructional coach through our innovation grant. We also, with that grant, we're provided a KDE effectiveness coach. And then the national board through NT3 coordinator, and then also our teacher leaders. We're a small school, but I'll have to say, I am really proud of my teachers because anytime I ask them to do something or go anywhere, they're right there ready to do that and come back and do trainings on whatever we need to do.
So our short-term outcomes was a school-wide implementation of the high-yield strategies, and we wanted to increase student engagement from multiple observation instruments. Our long-term impact was a school-wide playbook that all the teachers could use, and we have that. And Tony will talk a little bit more about that later, and the increase in student achievement. So in the process, we met and identified the problem of practice. We addressed it through the ACT team. During PLCs, the teachers were given time to research strategies, and they implemented that in their classrooms, and also had an effectiveness coach to help with that. And teachers implemented that strategy and gathered information about it, and then they shared it with everyone.
Okay, we have a 40 seconds. Okay, we have a video showing one of our students engaged in one of these high-yield strategies. It's in a 6th grade English class. And
Is it not showing up?
is it not working? Well, anyway, let me just talk about it. So they were color coding different things as a high-yield strategy to vocabulary words. Okay. So to learn new vocabulary words. And
For figurative language.
For figurative language. One thing that we did was, as Jeremy mentioned, the Playbook. And the Playbook is, we originally said we were going to bind it and put it on paper so we could share with everybody. But we decided, we were talking when we were working on this, why not just have it a little bit document where people can continue to add things to it, you know, continue to come up with new strategies to help each other. One thing that we discovered was we don't use the same vocabulary for each strategy. If you're doing a jigsaw strategy, what kind of vocabulary do you use? We were finding that we were using different vocabulary, which was confusing the kids. That's one of the big reasons.
So I went to the computer science teacher and I said, this is what I want. And she did us a Google document for us, and she put teachers' tabs. Every teacher on there, each one had a tab across there where they could go in. We had a template for the teachers to put in their high-yield strategy. And the template was identical for everybody. They put in why they chose it, they did a reflection, they did a description of it. That way when they go back, there is consistency. If another teacher wants to teach that strategy, there is a consistency with the same vocabulary, the same structure across the content areas. Moving on, we used multiple sources of data to see how we were coming along with this. We used Elliott. That is our walkthroughs that is done by the district. We use Link. Mrs. Barry has to do weekly walkthroughs through our literacy grant, my walkthroughs, peer observations, year up summary comparison for the past 3 years, and SREB walkthroughs, and then through the National Literacy Project that we've been working with this year. Our results.
The student engagement has gone through the roof. We find that the kids are really motivated, highly engaged in these activities, and the more things we share in our playbook, the more teachers that can use that to motivate their kids. We find that motivation is huge in middle school and high school. So that's one of our challenges. So this playbook is really, really helping us out. A lot more hands-on activities, a lot more collaboration between students. There's just a lot of neat things going on in our school. We're real happy that things are going so well.